and welcome back to the channel. So we have some exciting news, and that is that we just passed our final inspection for our electrical. So this is huge for us. We won't have to worry about that anymore, and now we've already started putting on some air conditioning units inside. It's definitely helping with this heat. So now we can finally start focusing on our solar power system. Something we've talked about in the past, but we want to get to a point where we don't have to rely on the grid, where we can generate all the power ourselves with a combination of solar panels and generator. And we've talked to some companies and we have some stuff in the works that you guys can expect soon. But today we still have to focus on the cleanup after the tornado. Right before this came through, we had just gotten to a point where we had the robot mower mowing everything, and we usually cut this for hay, but now there's just debris everywhere. So we have to start cleaning up that debris, and we'll also have to cut everything down. One of the things we've noticed, you don't really notice everything that's gone missing in a tornado. Every now and then we'll just find some random thing way off in the field that we had completely forgotten about because we weren't really looking for it. So we want to be really, oh my gosh, a cicada just hit me in the face. We want to be really careful as we're going through and make sure we're not mowing over anything. And we want to be able to just get this cut down again so we can continue maintaining it. So we're going to start off by cleaning up right here. We have some serious mess from random construction materials that fell off, our destroyed tent, and then all of our construction materials over there. But we want to clear out this area, so we're just going to start right now and either dispose of it properly, burn it, or move it to a new location. So let's get started. All right, well, we have managed to put a dent in a very large section of our property. I didn't get much footage of a lot of this because it was just hot and we were rushing around trying to beat the storms, but I can point out some of the stuff we did. So firstly, the biggest priority right here was the addressing our Harbor Freight tent. We had a lot of stuff out that we didn't want to get wet, so we've been going through all that, taking that down, sorting out trash, and made a big pile. And all the stuff that we do want to keep out of the weather, we put in a pile back there under a couple tarps. So that should get us past these next couple of rains. And we also found some fun things inside the tent just to reflect on. Right here, this is my secret stash of laser engraving wood. Most of this we milled. We have a couple pieces of black walnut that we had gotten from the barn a while back. All this cedar, these were some of the first pieces of cedar we milled, and it's all still great thickness for laser engraving. So we're gonna try to keep this and put it in piles and hopefully still get some life out of it. And then over here, we have a shed artifact at this point. Who remembers this right here? This is the original T111 siding that was on the shed. It has that nice green patina, and we set some pieces of this aside a while back because we thought it might be cool for a project later on. So still have a good few pieces in there. The rest of it got burnt, so that's about all we got right there. Just a few more things we need to clean up right here. Not too much, but it feels great in this big open area. It's been a while since we've had it cleared out like this, so we're really liking it. And we've been thinking about new structures that we can put here, like a pole barn or some kind of temporary storage area that we could build out of some lumber that we mill. And we also just mowed this entire area. Took us a really long time and it was super hot, but we mowed, we weed eated. And man, I kind of forgot how much work it is to mow because we've been spoiled with that robot mower. But it's out of commission since the solar panels got blown away, so we still got to get that going again. But man, it's looking good right now. Makes us feel a lot better that we have this main area cleared out. And now we want to go address our wood pile over there. We had the cover of it blow away in the tornado, and so we want to start reorganizing some of that. And also we have a trailer full of some old barn wood that we had taken a while back, so we want to make a new pile for that, sort through that. So let's head over there and check it out. All right, so this is our original wood pile. Some of this in here is the first wood that I ever milled when Alan came. So we got some really fun stuff in here. My favorite is this black walnut down here. This is gonna be my editing desk, so I'm really excited about that. We also have some pine back when we didn't have any pine. That was our first log we had ever milled, and we had plans for using that inside the house. Also just some various stuff. This right here is a pile of pressure treated lumber from our local big box store. And one little trick that we found out, sometimes at Lowe's and Home Depot, they'll have a secondhand wood section and they'll just have some discounted wood if it has some imperfections. And Dad was able to get all of these for free. But I mean, for the stuff we're doing, if you just want to make wood piles or stuff that doesn't really matter if the lumber is perfect, that's great. It'd be really hard for us to have treated wood like that ourselves with our sawmill. It turns out with owning a sawmill, being able to mill the lumber yourself is just the first part of the equation. But the whole other part of it is you have to store it right because if you aren't drying it properly, things are just gonna start twisting and bending, and then bugs are gonna get in it. And there's just all this stuff you have to do in order to keep it nice, or it ends up just going really quick. So we need to fix up this pile, and we're also gonna go ahead and uncover what's in this trailer. And one thing I'm gonna say, usually when we're going through these piles, it is very likely that we're gonna find a snake. So we might just find a snake today, so we gotta go check it out. All right, we're doing this real time. I can't even remember what's inside all this, so we're gonna find out. This is our first Harbor Freight tent that failed, and we're saving the poles for some reason. I tell myself I'm gonna learn how to weld someday and make something out of it, but we'll see if we ever actually get around to that. So the lumber inside here is over 60 years old, got it from the barn, and if we store wood properly, it'll last a long time, but some of the stuff we've milled, we leave it sitting out and it's just gone in a year, just completely unusable. So we have some ideas for projects we want to use this for, but we gotta, hopefully it's still fine. Oh wow, there's stink bugs on it still. Oh wow.
Piece of oak is.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Old piece of oak.
Wow, that is really heavy. No signs of snakes yet. Oh yeah.
Look at the round.
Yeah, you can see the grain. They cut this on the old school sawmill.
Round circular blade.
We have the 17-year cicadas here. You can probably hear them through my microphone, but they're just so loud out here. Mouse? Yep. That is some dense cedar. And we have an idea for a project we want to use this for. But let me know, drop a comment, let me know what you guys would use this kind of wood for. All right, well, that is just a complete transformation from where we started, and now it feels like we can actually use our sawmill again. So feels good to have this cleared out. And before we go, I want to go check out over here to look at some of these trees that fell just over this hill. These cicadas are insanely loud. You can kind of hear the cicadas going in waves, and there's like that high frequency sound, but there's also this kind of ominous alien kind of sound. Oh, there are lots of thorns here. This could also use a mow right here. We like keeping this like grass in the summer. Need to go over it with a bush hog. Look at this. This is just a giant hickory tree. I wonder if I can get up there. Look at how big this is. All right, so we gotta be careful now because we just spotted our first tick of the day. Check out this one. This is one that Dad just found crawling on him. And honestly, ticks are one of my biggest fears now because there are ticks around here that will make you allergic to meat. They'll give you alpha-gal syndrome, and this actually happened to Dad, and now he is allergic to most kinds of meats from mammals. He will just have a crazy allergic reaction. So I definitely don't want to get bit by a tick, but this hickory is just giant. Check out the size of this. So we're about to measure this and see how big it is. So this is about 27.5 inches in diameter, which is pretty close to the max of our sawmill. We can do up to 30. So I'm sure without the bark, it'll probably be a little bit smaller than that. But so that could be our future countertops right there. We got to get this cleaned up and move it over to the sawmill. So we've been warned by several people that fallen trees are a lot more dangerous than ones that you cut down because they're really unpredictable with tension built up and things. So look at this tree right here. It got completely over. So if we cut that limb right there, it'll probably just spring up. So they can be really dangerous, and we're gonna be really careful when we're cutting some of this stuff. I should go sit on the end of it and I'll let Dad cut me and I'll just swing up. All right, let's check something out over here. So right through here is where the tornado came through, and these trees that fell over are just huge. This is an ash, and just look at how big the roots are. They got uprooted here. It's like a cave now. Oh. It's just crazy right there. I'll be covered in mud. We hit the pressure washer and pressure wash the root and make ourselves a table out of that big root. And ash is one of the things that we wanted to go cut down, all of our ash, because the emerald ash borer is coming. It's an insect that's gonna be taking out, just completely wiping out the ash trees. So we need to cut down all of our ash trees before the insects get to them. It was good that this one came down. Not so great that our walnuts came down. At least we have a sawmill and we can use the lumber instead of it just rotting here in the woods. This is just a massive black walnut. It looks like double the size of that ash we were just looking at, and this is bigger than that hickory too. But man, you could slice this long ways and make tables out of it. It's so big. And then it has this split right here where it's a Y, and then just one of these limbs is still bigger than most of the stuff we cut on our sawmill. So we just have an insane amount of black walnut we can be getting out of this. And usually stuff like this ends up looking really cool on the mill. Also, the root can also be used for things. People really like that. So I think there's gonna be a lot of cool stuff in here. It's gonna be a challenge to get this out of here. I mean, it's just a mess around here, and there's vines everywhere, just all kinds of brush and debris. And this is just a small part of it. Over on the other side of the hill, we have more stuff, so it's just crazy. It's gonna be very rewarding when we're done with this. So I also think it's good news that it ended up uprooting it, because with that root structure still partially in the ground, it is gonna keep getting water and it'll preserve it for just a little bit longer. The leaves are still on it and haven't really started completely rotting yet, so it'll extend the life a little bit and hopefully we can get to it. we had another sugar maple on the other side of the hill that had done the same thing, and it ended up rotting because we hadn't gotten to it in time. We have very few trees like this on our property. We've been carefully selecting them since we got the sawmill and have had a plan of which trees we were gonna cut. So all these falling at once has definitely changed our schedule a little bit. And a tree like this is really valuable to us because if I were to plant a black walnut tree right now, I wouldn't be milling that tree until I was like an old man, or I don't even know if I would be alive for it. So something like this, really valuable to us, and we definitely need to mill it while we can. So that's that one. You can see how big this is compared to me. And then we'll check out this one over here. This was just a whole secret black walnut patch we had. This one is a lot more manageable, but this one's really good because it is just really straight. I don't see any limbs. There might be something right there, but this would probably make some really good lumber. That's something we could probably get to right away. Just cut it in a few places and drag the logs over. That over there, that's another story. We gotta get the big chainsaw out for that. I mean, now that this land is cleared out, this could be a potential future place for another house. So maybe we'll build something out here one day. And we also already have our trail back there, so it'd be like the driveway is already meant for it. But I just wanted to show you guys a little bit of this damage. It's crazy, and it's also really hard to show it on camera. I think me standing next to all of them is the best way to show how large they are. But yeah, we have a lot of work to do all over the property, but it feels good that we finally got cleared out all around the shed, and we've gotten back to where we were. So now we can start getting back to some construction. The thing we were working on right before the tornado passed through was our solar kiln, so we're probably gonna get back to that. We also have some other small projects that we wanna scatter in every now and then. Some big things too, like our metal roof. So lots of fun stuff to look forward to, but I wanna give a big thank you to everyone that has liked and subscribed, and a big thank you to everyone that backs us over on Patreon. Thank you so much for your support, and we'll see you guys next time.